Someone recently asked me how many times does Neville appear in my dreams, and it's not very often. But last night, his voice appeared in my dream, and this dream was it felt like a normal dream where for some reason, I was in college. I haven't been in college in years, but in the depths of me, I'm in college. In the depths of me, I'm playing sports in college. I'm talking to people. I'm angry. I'm upset at losing. I'm also happy and excited to play. I'm basically living a very normal life. And then I was all of a sudden shot out of this dream. And then I'm looking at what appeared to be the universe, and I'm seeing sort of just little specks of, light. And then Neville's voice came upon the dream and it said, "This is a world of darkness." And then it's like inside the dream, I realized I was dreaming all of that life. And it was just a very, very normal life. And this really is just like the movie Vanilla Sky, where, the main character, David, is, he's works for a magazine company. He's living a lavish lifestyle, and he's, he kind of has some tragedies in it. He also has his own successes in it, and it all feels incredibly real. And then one day he realizes that he's in a dream. It's just a dream. And he wakes up from it. And what appeared so normal and, even lavish, or even the tragedy, it was all a dream. And that's the same thing that happened to me in this dream, where in the moment when I was living the life, it was just like any other day. But then all of a sudden you're shot out and you see reality from a different angle. You see the dream from a different angle. And this angle wakes you up in a sense. And you no longer can see reality the exact same way anymore. Where while you're living it, it doesn't feel like you're in a dream until you see it from a different angle. And then I wanted to see what Neville said about this. And I stumbled upon this quote that really encapsulated the dream that I had. And he said, "So you and I agreed to dream and to dream in concert. And this is our dream, a world of darkness, a world that is a nightmare. But in the end, you're untouched by the dream and you will awaken. When you come back, they are waiting for you and you are untouched, unsoiled by the dream, but enriched by it and glorified by it because you experienced that travel in darkness." And he always speaks about how this will be an enriching experience. And there's been many times where I've had dreams where, things happen in the dream that although it was just a dream, I did feel enriched by it. I feel like I gained wisdom from it. I feel like I gained an understanding either about myself or reality itself. Even though it was a dream, there was much to learn from it, and I gained much from it. And many times people will try to say that life, this reality is like a simulation, or they'll say it's like you're an avatar, like in a video game. But I always find those analogies to fall short. I think the closest thing is that reality is like a dream. A dream can mimic reality to such an intense degree, because that's really what it feels like. It can feel like a dream. But while you're in it, if the dream feels independent, you don't necessarily feel like you're dreaming. It feels like it's happening to you. Even if you were to fall asleep tonight and in the depths you dreamt a dream where you're living life like I did, and it feels independent, if you told me I was dreaming, I wouldn't believe you in it. It would feel like, no, I'm in college. How could I be dreaming up a college? How could I be dreaming up an experience? How could I be dreaming up sports? How could I be dreaming up anything? And when Neville took me out of it and sort of tilted reality, or I really just saw it from a different angle. I'm looking at the same exact reality, just from a different angle. It's the same dream. And it really was dark. This world can be very dark. And we're dreaming this really dark world, and we truly are the light in it. And then he continues to say, you will find that in this book, The Candle of Vision, where he begins quoting two passages, one from Proverbs and one from Job. He said, "The spirit of man is the candle of the Lord. And when his candle shine upon my head, by its light I walk through darkness." And then he says, your imagination is the light of the world. And this goes together with the thread of the other dream, where I had the dream where I saw the light inside of me. And it's in everybody, because That is the core of our self. We're the core of imagination. We're the center of it. And this light that Neville was very interested in, he was looking at himself, which I would also claim I was looking at myself. So we're one. Everyone, in a sense, is one, individualized. And even though in Vanilla Sky he goes through tragedies, in the end he's actually untouched by the dream. And in this dream we can have dreams of nightmares. We can dream horrors while we're here. And I would advise everyone to not dream horrors, because it's a misuse, in my opinion, of imagination. I think it's a total misuse of it. While you're here in this dream of ours, in this world of darkness, imagine things that you love. Try to fill your mind with things that you love. Contemplate on the things that are really in the depths of you. And that's what these dreams are. Well, I might be sleeping in this plane of existence, but in the depths of me, I'm awakening to the idea that I'm just dreaming. And even the good things were just a dream, and the bad things were a dream. But the dreamer don't go away. The dream is showing me, the dreamer, something. But the dreamer doesn't go away. The dream might fade away, but I don't fade away. I remain. But I remain feeling enriched by the experience, untouched by the experience. And Neville's correct. That is what's happening. And he didn't say that to scare me. It's what he said. It's educative darkness. And it was to educate me, to inform me, to contemplate on. I noticed I woke up and I felt like I had to think about this a lot more. And I've always knew this to a degree. And I've actually seen it in other dreams. But this was just the most recent one. And it seemed like a message that has, been said to me more than once now. So I should probably pay attention to it. Because at times this world can feel dark. It can feel, we see many using the imagination to dream up horrors. It can feel dark. But we have to keep our focus on the light, which is our imagination, which is actually what we must live by. We must live by vision and not by our own physical sight. So we live really dreaming. If you follow this work, then you will have to decide one day to live upon your dream, to live upon the imagination, to feast upon it, for it to be your daily bread. So even despite of the horrors of the world, despite the nightmare, you keep imagining that you have the good, that you have the things that you otherwise need while you're here. And by the looks of it, it looks like we will awake, and we're not here forever. And I wasn't stuck forever living in that dream where I was in college doing this, that, and the other. It wasn't a forever thing. It was really I was being educated. So even though there might be dreams of wars here, and there might be dreams of envy, you simply keep going about your own business and you imagine the things that you otherwise want to imagine. You don't need some external permission or some external, really anything, to change your imagining, to change the dream, to change the dreaming within you. And the moment you change the dreaming, the moment you start to contemplate on these things, you will start to have these dreams. I haven't met anybody who doesn't start to contemplate. You don't have to, here's what I mean by contemplate. I don't mean you try to figure it out. I really don't mean that. I don't mean you try to understand it with force, or you try to logically make your way through it, or you try to use your intelligence to figure it out. These things are revealed, but I've noticed that they seem to come quicker if you just think about them. Feel them. What is it? What do you feel when you hear that life's a dream? That's educative darkness. That we in concert dreamed a dream of darkness, a nightmare together. What does that feel like? Now I'm speaking to more of your depths. On this physical plane, things of the depths will feel like blasphemy. When I tell you that you're dreaming, it feels like a blasphemy to the outer man. It can't be. But to the depths of us, we feel that it's true. And that's who I'm addressing in all my videos. I'm trying to address the deeper one within you, the one who is dreaming, the one who is imagining, the one who's putting themselves in the positions they want to be in on the inside, the one who is, as I said, you could be aimlessly scrolling on your phone, but you might be imagining something entirely different from your phone. What are you doing? I'm asking you, the inside, what are you doing when I address you? What are you saying? You're doing something and you're saying something, and it matters to you. It's important enough for you to imagine it. So all my videos, I'm addressing the dreamer, inside man. And I remember I read a comment recently where someone said they saw me and Neville trying to wake them up inside. They had a dream and they saw me and Neville trying to wake them up. But they were kind of awake, but they couldn't open their eyes. Maybe it wasn't time for them yet, but it was close. It's coming close for them. And I've noticed that the more you contemplate on this stuff, you do appear in people's dreams, trying to wake them up as well. Because we're one being. In the depths, we are one being. On this realm, on this plane that Blake says we take upon human display, human form, we appear as many. But in the depths, we're all dreamers. In the depths, we're one dreamer. And for some, just like this world, if you go on vacation with a group of people, some people wake up later, other people wake up early. Some don't, pay attention to what they're doing. They start to open up the curtains, and some people get mad and they want to stay sleeping. So we all awake at different times. Our time we will awake though, but our timing can be different for each of us. But regardless, if you've heard this, think about what is being said here. And don't see it as just like Edward's saying it. This is something that has been revealed to me as well. It's something I have to think about. I spent a lot of time trying to understand the dreamer, and that's what we need to get to. We need to get to. You can think of the meaning of a dream and the contents the contents inside the dream, but try to work your way back to the who of everything, the cause of the dream. So if I had a nightmare, let's say I have a nightmare tonight, I can try to figure out the nightmare, figure out this thing, but really what I'm being revealed is that I'm dreaming a nightmare. I go back to the I. I cause the nightmares. The dreamer causes them. It's the dreamer who has the power to cause the nightmare. And so when I wake up and go throughout my day, I think about the dream that I had. I think about the dreamer of that dream. I think about that there is no dream without a dreamer. There is no nightmare without the one dreaming the nightmare. And then I go throughout my day and I start to see myself imagining this, that, and the other. And then I might find myself imagining all these things. And later that night, I have a dream about all the things I imagined in the day. And so the things I dream in the day are the things I might dream at night. And realizing the who, I can go throughout the next day and learn from that and realize that I have the power to change the dream, to change what I'm doing inside myself at any moment in time. I can discard the senses. I can just stop them for a moment, enter myself and change the dream. Patiently. I can be as patient as I want. I can be as forceful as I want. I'd recommend being patient to change the dream, change what you're doing, change what the dreamer's doing. So don't try to, it's really not about anything on this plane. On this plane, you might feel unworthy. What I mean by this plane, I mean the physical plane. You might feel unworthy of dreaming something new or dreaming a new state of mind. But on a higher plane, that is already done. On this other body that I have, it seems to supersede organ perception, and I can go beyond it and see myself the way I would like to be. Neville said, walk around as if things are the way you would like them to be. Start to live life from that angle of reality. You've been living it from one angle, from the inside. Now move to a different angle. This isn't about anything on the outside, so you don't need to think you're unworthy, or you have to work something out outside of yourself before you can work it out within yourself. So that's the message for this, is that we're all dreaming, as Neville said, in concert.
And you can change the dream. Change it by simply daring to assume that you are now what reason is going to tell you, that you're not it now, and it's difficult to imagine that you ever will be it. Forget that. All things are possible to God. and you found who He is. He is your own wonderful human imagination. That's God. So assume it, and then let it happen in your world. I'll give you a little secret. People say, I work so hard at it. Imagination will do little that we seek from compulsion. It will do little, if anything, until we have imagined the wish fulfilled. He does not move under compulsion. We have to imagine the wish fulfilled for imagination to take action. So when people will tell you, but I work so hard at it, well, that's why you're failing. If you really believe that all things are possible to God, and God is your own wonderful human imagination, and His ways are higher than your mortal level, well then, what are you interfering with that state for? Assume the end, and don't work it at all. You'll be moving under compulsion to manifest if you simply assume it and let it be. What do you do after someone is pregnant? You just let it be. And if you don't, if you interfere with it, you're going to perform a certain miscarriage. But the same thing is true of a mental miscarriage. You simply assume that you are and go about your business. When you least expect it, you'll feel the evidence of it coming into your world. And then you can speak with the authority of experience. Now let us go into the silence.